have a new app, the Contracts app. It's a way to create reusable contract templates, assign them to clients, and then see everything, all submissions and requests, in a consolidated view. Now, I know there's many e-signature products out there, but what I think is special about ours is that it deeply integrates with the rest of the Copilot platform in really powerful ways. Let's go through an example workflow so you can see exactly what I mean. All right, so we're on the new Contracts app page, and here you can see two tabs, one for my templates and one for my submissions and requests. In the new Contracts app, everything starts with a new template. So let's start by clicking the New Contract Template button in the top right. First thing you do is upload a PDF document with your agreement. And now you can start dragging blocks from the right sidebar onto the page. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom and start with the simple ones. So here you have a sort of traditional setup where you have some fields for myself and some fields for the client. So let's drag and drop some of these client inputs on the page. That's for the signature. This is for the name. Finally, this is for the date. I'm going to open this My Input section and add my own information. And then we have the date field. Now, I could drag and drop this date field in the My Input section, but I'm not going to do that. And the reason I'm not going to do it is because I want this to be a reusable contract I can use again and again. And so instead, let's open this advanced dropdown where I have this notion of autofill fields. These are essentially fields that are going to get set at the time that I share the contract with a particular client. And so one of the fields here is the contract share date field, and I'm going to use that instead to make this template a lot more reusable. Perfect. Let's go ahead and scroll back up to the top. And here we also have a name and address field for the client, and I'm also going to use autofill fields for these. So for the name field, I'm going to drag client.fullname over. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger just in case. And for the address field, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, note that the address field is not actually a native property in the Copilot CRM. This is actually a custom field. And so if you're creating a number of custom fields on the CRM, they're actually going to show up here on the right sidebar for you to use. Now, the only type of block we haven't talked about yet is the variable inputs section. These are inputs that I can specify myself at the time of sharing a contract template with a client. And so a good example for using these is for things like a work breakdown or a particular price, because that's going to be different every time I use this contract, and it's something that I want to set myself rather than have auto set with an autofill field. So for the completion criteria field, I'm going to drag and drop a variable input field and call this completion criteria. I'm going to make this larger so there's more space and so that I can go multi-line later. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this fee column as well. All right, this looks great. So now I'm going to go ahead and create this template. After the template is created, I can share the contract. And for this example, I'm going to share it with Jack Smith. I'm going to set the completion criteria to successful delivery of marketing materials, and I will set the fee to $2,000. Now I'm going to click on Send Contract. Perfect. So now it's sent out and status is pending. So next, I'm just going to wait for Jack to complete the contract. So at this point in time, what would typically happen is that Jack would receive an email notification that prompts him to sign the agreement. I'm going to skip over the email notification and jump into the portal experience for Jack. So here it is. You can see that on the Contracts tab, there's one open notification. The contract name is Sales Agreement, the status is Submission Requested, and the action here is Review. Let's go ahead and click on Review. And this is looking really good. As you can see, some of those autofill fields were pre-filled. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on Start Signing. I will add Jack's signature. I will add his name. And I will add the current date. And I will click Finish and Send. Perfect. The agreement is completed, the notification went away, and now if I go back to my internal user on the dashboard and I go into my notifications, I can see that the contract has been signed. Looking great. Back in the Contracts app, I can also see that the sales agreement template has one submission with today's date. So that's how you can use the Contracts app. It's really great on its own, but what I think makes it even more powerful is that it was built on an excellent API foundation. What that means is that you can use it as part of various workflows. For example, maybe when a client signs in the first time, you want to automatically assign them a contract. That is really easy to set up. Or alternatively, maybe after a client submits a contract, you want to use some of the data they submitted to update your CRM and their corresponding custom fields. The Contracts app is on our API. It's also available on Zapier as well as Make, so there's plenty of ways you can set up workflows. We really hope you love it as much as we do.